Hello and welcome. This is our lesson 2. Last time we were able to see how to install Python, set up VS Code, and we were able to write our first program, printing on the screen, where we were able to run our program on the terminal. So today we are going to lesson 2, and under lesson 2 we are going to cover variables in Python. It is an important concept because variables, you're going to see how they help us when we are designing our programs. We shall also go ahead to see data types. We shall be able to see basic operations we can do with different data types like strings and integers and numbers. We shall also be able to handle the boolean logic. We shall also see some reserved keywords which you might not be able to use as variables and why they are important. We shall also be able to convert between data types. We shall also go ahead and we cover different data types, how to convert between data types. From there, we shall go ahead and we also have a look at the input function. The input function is the one which we can use when we want to get some user input, as we are going to see. So that's what we shall cover. And as a reminder, during my lectures, please, you have to understand that every lecture is always having one project at the end of it all. So by the end of every lecture, there is always a project which is going to help you practice what you are doing. And as I said, you have to learn by doing. You have to write these functions for you to understand them better, because most programmers, when they are starting, things become difficult if they just see codes running on the screen. You have to also run them on your system to be confident with them and understand them better. And in case of anything, you are free to contact me for any assistance in case you need assistance as far as writing your codes are concerned. Let us now start directly with variables and all other things as I have described. Welcome once again. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. So to start with, let us open a folder on the desktop. This folder, remember, we created it last time in our first video. So we are going to open a new file here. We're going to open a new file here. Okay, fine. Let us just go directly to VS Code, our integrated development environment, where last time we wrote our first code. So let us just open it. And now, after opening it, we can directly drag our folder as last time we did, and we drop it here. We can just get our folder here, then we drop it over here, and drop it over here to open it. Then let us just give it a second. Yeah, so as you can see, it is now open here. So we have our first app which we created last time. So today we are going to create another file by clicking on this button called this button here, which says new file. Click on new file, and this one you're going to call it variables.py. So as I said last time, all Python files must end with a .py file extension. That one shows that it is a Python file. So after that, let us press enter. Let us close this window here down. Okay, so these are variables. So today we're going to handle variables in Python. So what is a variable? So a variable is a container that stores data. So is a container that stores data. It's something we use to store data temporarily in a computer's memory. For example, if we say that age equals 20, this means that the age, the 20 value, this 20 value has been stored in a variable called age, which means in our program, even if we write 2000 lines, if we reference back to age, it is going to know that, oh, age equals 20. So that's how we handle variables. Even if you say that name equals Kamate, so it means that under name it is going to know that, oh, the name has been stored, the variable name has been assigned to Kamate. So which means that if we want to check what Kamate is, or sorry, if we want to check what the name variable contains, you're going to find out that it contains Kamate. So that is a simple way. So sometimes if you're writing a code, we have if you want to comment it out, because in Python you have comments, like if you want to make a comment, you just write hash on your keyboard. You can type hash and you say variables as of today's topic. Variables introduction. Yes. So so that is it. Now, so that's about a variable, what it is by definition. So what are the rules that we follow when we are writing variables? Now, when you're writing a variable cannot start with a capital letter, like name, like this. This one will not act as a variable. This one will not work. It cannot start with a capital letter. So this one is wrong. That is one. Then two, a variable must not have hyphens. Like for example, first name. This one cannot be a variable. Instead of using a hyphen, we use an underscore. So when you say first name, here you are verifying first name, then you say Kamate. You can either use single quotes or double quotes for writing strings or for writing words. Yeah, as we are going to see that the different data types and how we format them. So for now, let us just focus on how we write variables. So that is one of the first rules. So we said that the first thing is that cannot start with a capital letter. That is one. And the other thing is that it has to use an underscore. We don't have to use any special character, because if you use a special character like maybe a hyphen, it is going to be wrong. This is not a variable. And as you can see from here, even it highlights itself that it is not really functioning, that because you know this one is blue, this is white. So there is the other extension I told you to download, which does help to highlight how the coloring of the code, to make sure that it is showing you that it is either working or not. So that is it. So that's a few things about variables. And the other thing you need to know is that variables are case sensitive. If we say that if we say first name like this, first name equals Kamate, this one has to be in quotes, and then we say that first name equals Python. Yes, equals Python. So these are two different words, because when we print first name, as we said last time, print is a function. So it's a function we use to display data on the screen. So when we print first name, I want us to print first name, this first name, and we also print this first name to check the difference. You are going to find out that this one is totally different from this. So when you print this, it is going to print out this Kamate, but this one is going to bring Python. And if you print this with a small n, when you don't have this one with a small n, that is going to be an error. As you can see, it is showing that there is an error because this variable name is not defined anywhere. So that is some things you need to know about variables. Then the other thing you have to know is that not all words can be used as variables. Remember, variables are used, they have to be descriptive. If you're writing maybe a program to calculate students' scores in a course unit like Python programming, it is not good to say first name and you say first name equals, then you put someone's name like Kamate. Then you say last name Last name equals something like David. So now this one, yes, they are clear variables because they are respecting all the rules of variables, but this code becomes unreadable. So these ones, they are not encouraged to write them in this way, because now this first name is looking, you can't know that it's first name. So that's why we are always advised, if you want to write first name, then we should write it as first name, then we say equals, and then we put our quotes in this way. So this is the best way how we can be handling variables. So the other thing we have to know, we have some words which we cannot use as variables. They are called reserved keywords. Like print, you cannot use print as a variable. Like print equals, it can't work because print is a function that Python uses to do some specific tasks. So let us just have a look at some of those keywords. I'm going to highlight all, then I press control with forward slash to comment them out so that the code is not executable. Remember Python, something I didn't mention is that it does execute the code line by line, so it moves line by line. So for example, if we have some codes and other codes here, when you want to print normally, we shall always be highlighting or using control plus A and then control with forward slash to highlight them out so that comments are not printed. Yeah. So what I'm saying, I was mentioning about some reserved keywords. So let us come here and we try to open up our terminal. Then I show you the sum of the words which cannot be used as variables. You don't have to cram them in your head, because if you try to use them, they're going to fail to work, as I'm going to show you as we go forward. So let us just press Ctrl B, then we press on this button here to bring out all this. Sometimes if your window is small, may enlarge mine using Ctrl with minus, you'll be able to see something like this. Then you go to terminal, then you go to new terminal. So under terminal, we are going to type help. Wait, sorry, we're going to type, let us just clear the terminal. Let's clear the terminal. So under the terminal here, we are going to type Python. This is to enter the terminal. Yes, Python. Now here we are under Python. Then we say help, press enter. Then we are going to say help. Actually, we write help as a function, so we have to add the parentheses. Press enter. Then from there, we're going to say keywords and press enter. So they're saying here is the list of Python keywords. So these are the words now, the false, none, true. These words cannot be used as variables. They cannot be used because Python uses them when it is executing or when it is handling some functions. For example, here they are saying that you cannot use the word for as a function. So if we come here in our code on top here and we say 4 equals 4, we assign it to a value maybe like 20. You see, it is already underlined, red underlined, showing that you cannot assign 4 to 20 because 4 is a reserved keyword. But if we say for number, this is going to work out. That's why it is turning into blue. So that is something you have to understand. So I would request you, as you're practicing, go ahead and create variables. Create a variable of your name, of your age, and maybe your country. Because the more you practice these things, the more you come to understand them better. So let's close our terminal window here, and you get back to our code. So that's what we have to know about variables. Now let's go forward and look at data types. So data types, these are these items we are storing in variables. They are of different data types. To start with, we have what we call strings. So strings are characters or words or not like or a mixture of words and numbers. For example, if you want to store my name, like name equals in strings. So strings, can say Kamate. So when we say this, it means that Kamate, this Kamate we are storing here, this word we are storing here is a string. That's why we put it in quotes. It is characters only. So that is the first data type. The other data type is the integer. So integer, these are numbers like age equaling to 29. Hey, don't worry, I'm not 29 years. So if age equals 29, and then it means that this one is an integer. And to check that, you can say print, put brackets, then we say age. So when we say print age, we are printing the age, of course, as 29 on the terminal. When you run the code from here, we shall automatically find out that the age is 29. It has been printed here. So I want us to do something here. Let us come here and go to view, then go to appearance. We check on panel position, we put it on the right. Panel position, we just want the terminal to be this side so that we have some good space here for our code. When we print, at least you can be able to see. So this is age. But when we say print, then we say type of age. Print, I forgot it here. Okay. Print, wait. I want us to print to check the data type for age. So we shall say print, then type age. So this is going to show us the data type of the age. So let us run our code from here. So as I said, you see Python prints line by line. It has first printed 29, which is the print age function on line 21. Then from there it has printed the line 23, which is saying class is int. So this is how we determine the class of something. So we have so far looked at integers. We have even looked at strings. So under strings, even if you want to write many words like Kamate is a lecturer of Python. So all of these ones will be printed when you try to run the program on the terminal. We didn't print name, so it means if you want it to open here, we just have to say print name. We can use Shift Alt and down arrow to copy code to the next, to copy the code on the top to the left. So if we have, we say name, like you want to print the other name, and we just say, and we run the program, it is going to bring Kamate is a lecturer of Python, and the class is int. That is the class for age. And if you check the class for name, it should be a string. So that is your exercise. Work on that and see how to make it. Yeah, how to know the types. So that's how we print the types. Now we have now looked at the strings. We have looked at different data types. The other data type we have not yet looked at is what we call floats. So floats, these are floats. These are decimal numbers like e.g. 2.5. So if we say, for example, salary equals salary, assign it to maybe 20.6963, for example. Then if we print the type for salary, is gonna be, let us run the program and we see it should bring float. So these are what you call floats. So we also have another data type we call boolean. We call it boolean. So boolean is the one which is a yes or a no, but in Python we call it true or false. So we can, for example, say is verified, set it to true. So this one normally we use it when we are writing programs. For example, we want to verify if a form a user has submitted has been verified or not. So we use is verified, then we set it to true or false. It can either be true or false. So like if you want to check the type I think that is your exercise. Check the type for is verified. It should show you that it is a boolean or a boolean data. So that's all about data types. And now we are going forward and we check out some. We have already checked out the reserved keywords. We are now going to do something concerning type conversions. Type conversions. But before we go to type conversions, I want us to check something like something connected with concatenation. Concatenation. So to concatenate means to add. Means to add. For example, you can be having a name variable, and maybe you have assigned it to Kamate, and maybe you have another variable. Probably let us call this one first. Let us call it first name, and then let us have here our last name, and we call it we assign it to enable. So when we do this and then we want to concatenate these two, we are going to say uh, first name plus last name. So when we say first name plus last name, it means we have added these two together. Then we can store this in a variable called full name. So full name equals first name plus last name. Now what happens when we print full name? So when we print full name, let me just highlight all these out so that they are not printed. Of course, by highlighting and placing control with /. So when we do this and we print full name, it is going to concatenate the two. So we're going to see Kamate to enable. So you can see here there is no spacing. You can just do that by adding here another plus and we add empty strings. So when you add empty strings, it means you have added in some space. So when you try to run again, you shall now find out the name that is very clear. So that is what we call concatenation. So apart from that, we are now going to see something about numbers or integers. So under integers, for example, if we have something like sum and we equate it to 2 plus 5, and then we print out sum, it's going to automatically calculate. It's going to calculate the sum of 2 plus 5, which should be 7. So expect 7 is here. Yeah. So for example, if we have something like gross salary, equaling to 200 US dollars, and then we have tax equaling to 20 US dollars. Of course, we can just say 20.00.00, then 200.00. So if you want to get the net pay, we are going to get our gross salary minus tax. So we are going to get our gross salary minus tax, and we are storing it in a variable called the net pay. So it means that when we print out our net pay, wait, something is loading here. Okay, so when we print out our net pay, we are going to find out that it is going to give us 180, as you can see from here. So those are some few examples of how we can use data types to do some basic math, concatenate numbers, and all that. So to take things to another level, you can say that you can print. Wait. For example, you want to say that Kamate to enable earns, then you add in the net pay. How are you going to do that? We can just say statement, and we store in our variables, and we say under statements we are going to bring, under statement we can just say full name, that is now Kamate, plus we are concatenating Kamate, then we are going to add in words, earns, then we concatenate, we add in net pay. So it means we're going to print full name, earns, then plus some money. Even now we can add in some US dollar here, just like this. Then when we run the program, it is going to wait. There's a program statement equals. Oh, okay. So after we're doing this, we have to, the error they are showing us. They're saying that can only concatenate string, not float. So the problem here, we are trying we are trying to add together a string and a number, and in Python it is not possible because a full name is a string, but this one is the net pay is a number, so we cannot add a string with a number. So how do we convert these types? For example, we can be having one net pay, but we still want to display it though it is a float. How do we make this float to behave as if it is a string so that we can concatenate it here? So that is what we call data type conversions. So we have the right of converting a string to a number or a number to a string. We can convert, sorry, we cannot convert a string to a number. That one is not possible, but we can convert a number to a string. Take that one very clear. Converting a number to a string is possible, but converting a string to a number is impossible. So what are we going to do for this float for us to make it or function here? We are going to concatenate it, but we are going to add the str keyword. So it means this string, this net pay is being treated as a string. That's why we should be able to concatenate it now fully. So when we try to run the program, it is going to bring us to 180, as I said. But it should also bring the first name. Oh, sorry. We have to print out the statement. Yes, because printing the statement, that's when you're going to see this on the terminal. So what it printed, it just printed up to this last line of print net pay. It prints line by line. So when we try to run, it is going to bring Kamaten to enable earns 180 US dollars. So that is it for data type conversions, and I hope you've enjoyed that. And I want you to practice more. Do more practice, because the more you practice, the more you understand. So lastly, as I said about the things we're going to cover, we are going to cover a function called input. So what does input do? Let us highlight everything, and we click and we just press Ctrl with / to comment them out. Now, what does let me just expand the screen, but this is enough. So what does input method do? So the input function, when we say input and then we say enter your name, this input function, whenever it is running, it asks a user to input something into the screen. For example, when you run this program, it is going to say enter your name, and then someone can enter their name from here. So this is how we ask user input, to get input from the user. So this is enter your name. Now, for example, when the person has entered their name, we can save it under name equals. So it means that we have saved the data the user has entered in a variable called name, such that when we print name, it should print what the person or the user has entered. For example, when you run again and it says enter your name, we just say Kamate, and it's going to print Kamate because we said print name. The other thing, for example, we can say that age equals 20. So when we say that, wait, let us take it in this format. You can just say input enter your name, then we say age equals, then we use the input function, and we say enter your age. Then at the end of it all, instead of printing name, let us print my name is, then put some space, concatenate it with name, then put another concatenation, and then age, we add in the age, my name is, then and I am, and I am uh, and I am, okay. Then yeah, something we didn't talk about, for example, if you're writing I am, remember I am has a quotation already, so Python gets confused thinking that this string I'm concatenating is ending from here, which is not true. So what we do when you want to cater for this, we use a backslash. We use a backslash like this, no, backslash, this one. So when you use a backslash, it tells Python that, you know what, no, this one, this following hyphen is not meaning that we are ending our string, no. So that is what we do. The other way of how to do this is, if you use a single quote, or I mean if you use a hyphen somewhere, then you can use double quotes. You can use double quotes in your program, just like this. Use double quotes like this. So, and I am, then plus age, I am like 20, and then you can concatenate last line, we say yes, or so you can place RTZ to make the code get formatted to rapid, so that you can see all the parts. So when you run the code, it will say enter your name, yes, Kamate, then enter your age, 50, and it's saying my name is Kamate and I am 50 years old. So you can work on the spacing by that, just like how we did it last time, by adding a space here. My name is, then you can also add a space here. Then when you try to run and we say enter your name, David, then what is your age? 63, and it's going to say my name is David and I'm 63 years old. So that's it about the input function. So as an exercise, which I'm going to leave behind, uh, exercise here, I want you to write a program that is going to print the following on this terminal window. That program should be able to do what? It should bring the following. It should say, hi, I am, then of course here you add your name, this name should come from user input. I am, then your name should come from the user input. I like, put a color of your choice, should also come from user input. And put age, should also come from user input, 34 years. So this is an exercise I'm leaving for you. So when you do it, next time we are going to come and we add on, we are going to look at something concerning lists and all other things that are necessary for us to master Python. So it has been nice meeting you guys. This is Kamate once again, Code with Kamate. If you're new to this channel, subscribe, and let's meet in our next lecture. Nice time.